frequent or recurrent bladder infections. If this is happening to you, perhaps there's a deeper solution where you're no longer having these bladder infections. And so it turns out that most of the time, the only time the doctor's checking your urine is when he thinks you might have a bladder infection. But if he had checked you, but when you did not have symptoms, he might notice some abnormalities that would point him in the right direction. Those abnormalities would be if you had blood in your urine, if you had bladder lining cells in your urine, if you had chronic kidney changing lining cells in your urine. That might mean something deeper is foul. And what I mean by that is there's some autoimmune conditions, which means your immune system is attacking your bladder or the exiting chamber, the urethra that goes out to the surface of your body in a characteristic way that's breaking down the integrity of the barrier that prevents bacteria from invading. The pelvis is a filthy area, and so if the integrity breaks down, you become vulnerable. So common examples that are overlooked of this process are called interstitial cystitis, which is the medical descriptor for autoimmune-induced damage to your bladder lining. Rare, but still quite prevalent, is the autoimmune condition of the vulva tissue known as lichen sclerosus. This as well can promote bladder infection. And you might want to just throw up your hands and say, oh, well, the doctor's giving me a steroid cream. He's already diagnosed me. But the steroid cream is breaking down your tissue more. It's contributing to the long-term problem. So the only way we could ever break this cycle is if we ask the question, what is it in your body that's predisposing your immune system to attack you? And I think I have a pretty darn good solution for you, and that is you've got a food allergy to specific foods, and in your case, the damage is happening in your urethra, your vulvar tissue, even in your bladder. Eventually, this might even predispose you to bladder cancer, because after all, the emerging scientific fact is that chronic inflammation promotes tumors. So a proportion of people with chronic inflammatory damage will develop a tumor late in the process. The good news is, if you're willing to look into what is inflaming you in this part of your anatomy, and you completely avoid that food, you will become well again. You will no longer be plagued by the need for recurrent bouts of antibiotics and the vulnerability to degrading tissues in your pelvic area. So forget all this if you're not willing to change your diet and approach 100% compliance, because if you are not willing to change your diet, recurrent antibiotics is the best we can do for you with all their toxicities and diminished outcomes. Thank you very much.